Hi, everybody. Welcome to Make It Make Sense. I'm your host, Monique Pressley. Thank you so much for joining us, where every day we try to do exactly what the title says, make it make sense. We have had an awesome week doing exactly that. I hope that you were with us for yesterday's show with my sis, Tamika D. Mallory, the movement maven. The Queen was in here, and we talked a lot of things. We talked Shinko Robinson. We talked having balance when you are pursuing purpose and when you're living a purpose-driven life. We talked being a woman in business. It was super great. And also, we this same week had Benjamin Crump a couple of days ago. And he caught us up on some cases and gave inspiration for those who are graduating, kind of gave us a charge for that. And Monday, I did Motivation Monday, and it was lessons from track and field. One of my favorite Motivation Mondays, actually. But today, I'm on today now. And I see my sis is in here, so I am not going to delay. I'm going to welcome her in because I know she's a busy lady with things to do, places to go, people to see. And I've been stuck on Zooms all freaking morning. My God. And she's not new to the show. Can you all please welcome former political executive, but she still helps us with politics, brain injury survivor, wellness consultant, and cognition coach, host of the Reformed Brain podcast, my sis, Erica Savage.
Hey, gorgeous.
Well, hello, gorgeous. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. It's so good to see you. So good to be on with the Make It Make Sense audience. So thank you for having me on.
It has been too long since we shared any kind of space. We just haven't been able to have any fun together lately. Chopping it up. So I'm glad that you are with us. And I know because I've been paying attention, you held your own last Saturday, I think it was, while our dear sister Reese was off at Club Renaissance in foreign countries, living her best life.
Okay.
On the Reese Colbert show. I know, did a great job of that and have been just doing all kinds of things wonderful. But you tell us, what you been up to lately?
Oh, goodness. So thank you, Monique, for definitely the warm welcome, but exactly what you named. I've been really doing a lot more media. So I am now have been co-collaborating with Reese weekly on her show since February, the Reese Colbert Show. And she said, our good sis, every Saturday at 3 p.m. So that's been really good. And continuing about my own healing and wellness journey from my brain injury. And from that, just recently authored an Amazon #1 new release book that we're going to talk about. And really just honestly owning the lane that I am in now. So what you said about, which is in my bio, former political executive, I'm pretty much excited to be able to say that that's what it is, because the lane that I'm in now, which is very much so centered around wellness and healing, that's my audience, that's my lane. It is very much so political, but I am owning that lane. So that's what I've been about, accepting the new space that God has found, God saw that I have found myself in.
Right. And I tell people all the time when it comes to autism activism and the work that I do in that space, it found me. I wasn't looking for it. And you have a choice, you could either be centered on your own healing, or for me, centered on my own child's healing, or I can see that it was allowed in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I come to the experience with all this other stuff.
Yeah,
That's what I see with you, that you came to an experience you didn't choose, but there was this whole Erica that came to that with all of this know-how, with all of these relationships, with all of this access. And so for you to decide, okay, on my healing journey, I will take my village and my tribe, and I will inform and help as many people as possible. That is a choice and a call. And I love seeing you just accept what God allows because God knew you could be trusted.
My God, you are about to bring tears to my eyes, literally, Monique. I was, so I had 9 practitioners, and you spoke very eloquently. You put it all together. We didn't choose these lives. These lives chose us. However, God knew that we could handle it. And I always say on the anniversary of when my life changed that God told death no. So today I had a virtual appointment with my speech pathologist because I talked to her about some cognitive rehabilitation therapy, like organizing my thoughts, not remembering things the way that I used to, not being as sharp. And she said a couple things that are in line with what you just said, the acceptance piece. And talking about, I knew I used to be able to do things one way, and I'm trying to fit my life into an old paradigm. That paradigm doesn't work anymore. God said, no, 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 no. I'm giving you a new thing. So fully embracing that. And then the second thing that she said was that the acceptance of that is something to practice daily. And so I am accepting, as you are a proud parent, you advocate not just the month of April, Autism Awareness Month, but you advocate, you are the example. You walk, speak, you engage this whenever it is that is necessary. And so for me, the acceptance piece is that I have all of these lovely notebooks and this pen. So full disclosure, if you see my eyes going down, that's because I'm taking a note so I don't forget my own train of thought. And that is a perfectly human thing to do. So it really does tie into the book that I wrote. The book is a quick and easy read. It's about 20 pages, a Southern Buzz Green Thumb. One of the things that I thought about when I was writing the book is that I wanted for adults, children, people with differing abilities to be able to pick this up across their device, find something that is a mental health and a wellness booster for them, and be in the store and say, I don't know a whole lot about plants, but if this lady with a whole brain injury who now has a collection of up to 60 indoor plants can do it, they're living and thriving, it is something that I can do as well. Let me go in my local nursery, my home improvement store. Erica has a plant called Big Booty Judy. This is the kind of plant that I want. You see this plant? Find this plant for me. It's all about taking, as you said, all of the things that we have inside of us, given the new direction and saying, how can I bring people along and show them that this is something that they can engage as well?
Yeah.
They may not know anything about it.
Should, right?
Yeah.
Because having plants indoor and all of the things that having living things in your space can do for your health, can do for your mind, or walking outdoors, having your bare feet touch grass, being amongst trees and foliage, just all of the things that, they don't teach that in school. And our kids are stressed out. They are stressed out. And I don't care, even if they are at a school where they're blessed enough to have PE every day, it doesn't even mean outside necessarily. It means like gymnasium or weight room or whatever. They are not being given the tools that are free, like through our breathing and through our exposure to nature. They're not given the tools they need to survive this crazy ass world. And so I love that you did the book. And I didn't even know that you had a book, so I'm excited about it, and now I can promote it and share it. Shame on you, Erica. Shame on you. But that's okay. We didn't know it's right. You never know. And so we'll be promoting it here. And guys, it'll be dropped in the chat when we post the show so that you can get it. Because I kind of love the whole idea of somebody recovering from a traumatic brain injury, writing a book and being able to promote it. I mean, all of that just smells good.
Oh, girl.
That smells like recovery road. But I have a question. When I asked Jackie, when I was talking to Jackie about booking you, which I love to talk to you about whatever anyway, but I want to talk to you about something specific because I have been talking to so many people who are in the line of work, but still line of work, but with a new spin on it that can help us. My line of work, movement work, political work, who are oversaturated by negative content and don't even necessarily, some of them know that is what's causing them to go from to within the span of 15 minutes or a 7-minute hit on TV or an hour's worth of press conference or a Zoom, and the whole spirit, mind, body seems to just go down. So some people don't even realize it. Some people like me, I've been realizing it and making different choices based upon it because it's been coming to me I can't. It's too much. If I don't have to, I'm not gonna. And for me, that's new. That's a whole new check-in because I'm the chick that, my first job was DC Public Defender Service. So going into autopsies and watching the inside of a young Black man's brain be dissected to find a bullet, that was part of my life. And to realize that's not my life anymore. I don't want it to be my life anymore. I don't want to see these videos. I don't want to see these pictures. I don't want to talk about this stuff all over and over and over unless it is my particular assignment. I'm not letting it in. So maybe you could put some meat on the bones for me of what that awareness should be like and what we can do to, as Iala would say, save ourselves.
Right. I first want to do a grounding technique with you, if you don't mind, because everything that you just said, I'm just feel like my inside is showering with tears. Thank you so much, Monique, for what you have done, not only for the community, but what the work that you have done that has impacted our nation and beyond. It takes a very special, called, committed person full of love to stay in the level of work that you are in. So I have to say thank you, dear sister. And you have done that with family. And you are a proud person with a family. So I have to say to you, beautiful Black woman, and everything that you do and that you give, that I appreciate you. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. So let's do this. And everybody that's on the other side of the screen of Make It Make Sense, I hope that you would join as well. If you're in your car, please continue to drive your car. If you have a focus that requires to be very much so connected to that, if perhaps you're taking care of patients or something like that, just continue to listen to Make It Make Sense. But also, for those who are able to be engaged, do this. This is called 646, and it is a breathing technique. So I just want to introduce this. So if we can, just take a moment. If your hands are free again, just kind of let your hands sit on your legs. And I'm saying that if you're not a person that has the ability to do that, allow your hands to rest wherever they feel most comfortable. Allow your feet, for those who do have the ability, to kind of rest on the ground. And with eyes open or closed, whatever feels the most safe for you. We're going to take 6 long breaths in. We're going to hold for 4 seconds, and then we're going to exhale. So those are the instructions. And remember, however you feel most safe with eyes open or closed. So we're going to begin. We're going to do one round of this. So just listen to my voice. It will take a moment, and everyone inhale slowly for 6 seconds. So that goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold that. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then very slowly and intentionally exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I want to just do it one more time though, Erica. But tell us, is it in through the nose and out through the mouth, or does it matter?
Excuse me. Yes. Thank you, Monique. So we're going to go in through the nose, the mouth, and then out through the nose. So thank you for that clarifying statement. So again, we're going to inhale through the mouth.
Okay.
And inhale through the nose.
Okay.
Exhale through the mouth. So thank you for that clarifying. We're going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And again, you can do this with eyes open or closed, however that makes you feel most safe. So one round of it. Thank you for that clarifying question. So 6, 4, 6, inhale 6 seconds, hold it for 4, and then exhale for 4 seconds. So together, just follow me. Inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's exhale slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take a moment. Tell yourself, I love me. Give yourself something very sweet. But what I've noticed after that 6, 4, 6 grounding technique, I've done this for corporate clients. I've done this one-on-one. I've done it for college students at HBCUs that I was asked to come in and connect with. The before and after is really significant. And I say that in relationship to what you just shared with people that you work with, people that are in the movement, activism space. They may do a media hit. I want people to understand this before I go any further. What you see Monique do, what you see Reese do, what you see Tamika Mallory do, what you've seen me do, even 2 or 3 minutes, there's preparation. It requires people to be connected to what's happening, not only through what they hear, but oftentimes through what they read. So oftentimes media is being consumed via the ear, also watching, also reading. So there's a lot of consumption before you see something that is being broken down into minutia with very specific points that are given to the audience. It looks easy, but that's because these women or men and myself are professionals in that space. There's a level of media training, but it is actually a lot of work to do that. And then when you add on longer segments, it's a lot more. It's a lot more work because you're not only requiring to do all of that, but pay attention to what someone else is saying. And then if there's a point that perhaps needs to be corrected or maybe added on to or give or elaborate on that point. I say all of that to say in March, I made that my last time being a regular on Roland Martin Unfiltered. And I did that specifically because even with all of the grounding techniques and the work that I do, Monique, I noticed that my body was responding negatively to be in that space of being a panelist, even though there are 2 other brilliant people, Dr. Carr and Reese, that are there with me. But I noticed after that, my shirt would be wet. I'd be extraordinarily tired. It would be difficult sometimes to go to sleep. So even though I would have my plants that I would dip my hands in as a way of really grounding and bringing myself back to, it wasn't really doing it for me. So I had to make the decision that love rolling. I just hosted the show, and I know that you are also, you do work on rolling as well as other mainstream media platforms. Just hosted, but I had to say that, listen, this is not something that I can continue to do weekly. So as much as I enjoy it, as much as the audience enjoys it, and very glad that that particular Thursday night programming did well in numbers, it's not something that I can continue to do. And so with regard to my health, not making the priority what it does for everybody else, but for my humanity, I stepped away from that and doing Reese Show Weekly, which is a radio show, but it's very different. And so I'm good to go with that. For you and for your colleagues that are continually engaged in that work, I would say number one, as you talked about, that self-awareness, making the decisions around this is something that perhaps I need to not make something that I'm committed to as much as I was before, tailoring that, practicing grounding techniques. And something that I have found to be very beneficial is I'm not on my phone or any electronic devices as much as I used to. So as much as possible for the Tamika Mallory's, for the Monique Pressley's, for those who really do engage a lot of media because of the responsibility and the call on their life, to as much as possible, take your shoes off, take your socks off, take your makeup off, take your earrings off. And you talked about connecting with nature. If you're not immediately able to connect with nature, what is something that brings you joy? Mm-hmm. I saw on your Instagram, you giving us all kind of hips, bodies, legs, honey, on Mother's Day. If dancing is what make Monique feels good, that's one of my practical tips. Turn on the music, turn it up as loud as you can stand and dance. If you need to put a timer on your phone, put a timer on your phone. But studies and science has shown that we keep a lot of we hold a lot of tension in our hip area. And for Black women specifically, a lot of times when you see Black women with a little belly, that is because our cortisol levels are raised. We're holding a lot of stress there. Monique is fine, but there are places in her body where she's holding stress. Twerking, which is a form of dance, dancing in and of itself, moving your body is a way to release that stress. So in order to make sure that we are not in fight or flight stage or fawn stage, doing the thing that brings us pleasure. And so that would be my recommendation. And I am always available for a consult. My calendar is in my link tree. I work with corporate clients and one-on-one people because the people that I work with, they're high performing like you, Monique. They have responsibilities that really do require a level of discipline. But what a lot of people like the Monique Presleys don't have is a lot of space where they're giving themselves the permission and the space to really just say, I'm not engaging, and still fulfill those professional obligations. So as a woman who's on the other side of that, who has a level of understanding, they entrusted me to say, I know you get me, what can I do? And I feel very honored that they're high performing 6, 7 plus figure women that do trust me in that space.
Yeah. Because burnout is real. And if people want to have longevity, if they want to have a succession plan that works, they're going to be getting with you and getting with people similarly situated to you in order to learn these steps. And I find two things. One, when you're talking about the hips, many women, especially women who've born children, end up with this perpetual pain on one hip or the other because we carry these babies and we carry them until they're way past babies. And last week for Monday Motivation, I was talking about dealing with and acknowledging disappointment. And I heard what disappointment is and how it is, it is failed expectations, basically expectations you had of yourself as opposed to the plan that God has for you, which will not disappoint you. But I shared with them that I had been having chronic pain over a decade ago in my hip. And that when I went through a course of therapy and a program with a group of women, and we had to go to like a simulated kind of casket scene where we were throwing the things in and preparing to bury the things that had been hindering us, I yanked disappointment from my hip. I did, and unplanned. It was just like, it was where the pain was. But you sometimes have to dig deep enough to name your pain.
Yes, indeed.
And so you got to get off the just the funk of the day to get down to, yeah, but it wasn't about today's issue, girl, because you've been having an issue every other day for 5 years. Now, what is it really? What's really got it? People listening. Also, my second thing, you don't have to be in what you consider a high stress or high performance job. You can stretch yourself out going through your feed on Instagram.
Oh gosh, absolutely.
I tell the people close to me. I told Attorney Crump one day, and now his staff does it routinely, but I'm like, slap this warning on here. Please slap a trigger warning on this stuff. I know we need it. I know that the public needs to know about it, but Black folks already know about this. And I don't want to see that if I don't have to. I had to see it day before yesterday when you showed it to me so that I could prep the press statement. I don't want to see it again. People should get choices.
Absolutely.
Because that it can feel like an assault.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well,
it is an assault.
Yes.
No. I want us to be clear. It is an assault. And some of the things I'm glad you named when you talked about that disappointment. What we're not realizing, my podcast, The Reframe Brain, and that was specific to my own healing and wellness, which is an active journey that I'm experiencing, is we center our focus on brain health, which is why I am a cognition coach, and unseen injuries, because the trauma, the epigenetics, there's just incredible science that I'm continuing to engage on a daily basis. What I'm discovering is we're looking at intergenerational and then transgenerational, how that is impacting us. But specifically when we're talking about Black trauma, it does not have to be specifically in our family. We're already faced with aggressions. Black people are already, unfortunately, wired for hypertension and diabetes. So then there are additional things that we have to do to ensure that we perhaps don't fall into a space where we're actually having to take medications to mitigate that. Now, if there is something that has to be taken to mitigate that, please, in fact, do that. But understand that transgenerationally, there are just some things that have been passed along to us. And to your other
1 second, and what you can also do is go and look back at last Wednesday's show, because I had Dr. Benson from NIH on here for World Hypertension Day. So you can figure out how you can avoid things and not put yourself in that situation where you need the medicine. But go ahead. Okay.
I love that. And when we're thinking about unseen injuries, one of the things that I always want people, what I'm always shining a light on is when you talked about that whole disappointment, and thank you for adding that it is not just high functioning, it is across the socioeconomic strata, right? It is the unseen that's really hurting us. When you talked about a feed, when you go on to social media, you go on to Twitter, you go on to Facebook, whatever, TikTok it is, we're not prepped a lot of times for what it is that we do see. However, the unseen something, and then something in us that is triggered, something that is awakened, something that is aggravated. And because unfortunately, and this is not just Black folks, but many people, because of the level of work that we do, like you're on Zooms all morning, unless a Monique Pressley makes it a priority to say, before this starts at whatever time this starts at, I am specifically going to make sure that I go outside, go on my lovely balcony, go wherever, and make sure that I am connecting with the sunrise. If there's grass in the area, that I feel comfortable putting my feet in the grass. I have a whole hour plus morning routine that I do every day that I've been practicing for over a year. And this was after my brain injury because I was very sensitive to light. I could not be on social media for several months. I lost a lot of mobility. But what I found that in this time that was a very sensitive time for me, I picked up something very strong, which was a morning routine. And I love that exchange that God gave me because what it did is that my brain is now rewired. And I want everybody to know that in the space that I do cognition coaching, you can rewire your brain. Our brain is made to adapt, we're biologically wired to survive as mammals, as humans. Every morning, before there's any device picked up, the first thing that happens is that the sun is kissing me because I have my blinds opened a bit. I keep fresh flowers in the bedroom and downstairs. But in that, after when I wake up, the sun kisses me. Immediately after that, I go into my I am. I am anointed. I am a healer. I am a liberator. I am a leader. I am and all of the I ams I am well loved. I am nurtured. All of those things immediately trigger. Then I do the breath work, the same exercise that we did here on Make It Make Sense. I did that. I do that. After I do that, I'm connecting with my body and I do this. I say, thank you, liver. Thank you, kidneys. Thank you, heart, artery, spleen, gallbladder. I go through all of that. I'm stretching. I am giving me before anybody. Yeah. It is me, God, and the elements. Yeah. And then my day starts. So I think that that is something that all of us, especially folks that look like Monique and I, and not saying on a professional level, but I'm saying you look in the mirror and you can see, oh, yeah, they look like me. That's me, man, woman, and child. So please, 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 especially Black folks, please make sure that you are affirming, you are fortifying yourself before we pick up these devices.
Amen. Amen. Okay, I am out of time. This was so good. It was so good on so many levels, so very good. We need so much more of it. You are also always welcome here, Erica. I want them to get your book. I want them to follow you. This will be on YouTube where people can watch and learn and feel better because I felt better doing the exercise. And that's what I want people to see. Nothing that we did or even that you described as your morning routine, that doesn't take a lot of time, but the difference in what your day looks like, feels like, the way that you encounter the rest of it can be truly amazing. So thank you, woman, on your path. Thank you for stopping on your path and spending some of your time, your most precious resource, your time with us. We appreciate you very, very much, Erica.
Oh, it was my pleasure. And again, thank you, woman of God. Thank you, woman of the community, woman of the nation, of the globe. I thank you for all the work that you have done and that you continue to do, Monique. Thank you to the Make It Make Sense audience as well. It was definitely my honor and privilege.
All right. Take care.
You as well. Be well, everyone.
Oh, wow. Sometimes we do interviews and we learn a lot. Sometimes we do interviews and we're challenged. Sometimes we do interviews and it's today where we learn a lot, we're challenged, and it's like a fresh rain shower. I feel new and bigger and better and stronger and lighter all at the same time. Please follow Erica Savage, one Erica Savage on Twitter. You saw her on here and listen to her Reformed Brain podcast and get her book. I appreciate you all. Thank you for joining. I mean, I'm feeling better. I'm gonna be skipping through some daisies for the rest of my day. But we will be back tomorrow with Week in Review. Freedom Friday. Don't miss it. We'll be right here, noon Eastern. Subscribe, please, to my YouTube channel, Monique Pressley TV. If you'd like to be a friend of the show or sponsor the show, email us at sales@moniquepressley.com, or you can give It's on Cash App, $ Monique Pressley TV, and on PayPal, paypal.me/Monique Pressley TV. I love, love, love y'all. Thank you, Queen Erica. We love you. See you tomorrow.